Shabbat Shalom. Take a deep breath and turn to the person next to you. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom. How special. Tonight is a very special service. We welcome back to our Bima for the first time in a very, very, very long time. We welcome Cantor Adam Cahan back. I love it.
All the dollars I handed out worked real well.
Amazing.
That was really nice.
We welcome Adam back. Adam grew up at this congregation, sang in the junior choir, made a huge difference, went on to sing and perform all over the world and become a cantor. And we needed someone back with us this weekend, and we welcome you back. Delighted.
Thank you.
Delighted. We have a very special guest that you will hear about in a few moments, Barak Morag. Barak, it's an honor to have you here with us tonight. Let's give him a little Am Shalom spirit. I love it. And a woman who needs no introduction. Rabbi Phyllis. What a special night to have the Bima filled with so many wonderful people. On page 128, Shabbat Hamalcha, the sun on the treetops no longer is seen. Let us gather together to welcome the Sabbath, our Queen. And so relax your shoulders, take a deep breath, and let's join with these beautiful words together. And so we illuminate Shabbat candles. We illuminate the candles. Jody, if you would come forward to illuminate these candles. Our guest, as you'll hear later, is from Nir Oz Kibbutz. His next door neighbors were the Bibas family. Barak, I would just want you to know that at this congregation, we have these beautiful candlesticks that were made in Israel. And I want you to report back to your friends that this one says Kafir and the other one says Ariel. Because we felt that we needed to do something to remember them. And so every time we light these Shabbat candles, we think of your kibbutz, we think of your home, but especially Kafir and Ariel. And so we light these candles because I can't think of any brighter lights than the two of them. Together we say, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher Kidshanu B'mitzvotav Vitzivanu Mahadlik Ner Shel Shabbat. Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher Kidshanu B'mitzvotav Vitzivanu Hadlik Ner Lehadlik Ner Shel Shabbat. Scoop up some of that light to warm you on this cold May 1st day. It sure looked a lot warmer than it is. Scoop up some of that light to make your dark days bright, your bright days even more beautiful.
It might be cold outside, but of course it's warm and Shabbat-y in here. On the next page, 129, one up from the bottom, Ki Ashmera Shabbat. When I keep Shabbat, God watches over me. It is a sign forever between God and me. We sing these words to begin our preparation to welcome the Sabbath presence. You know how we say that some people just have a presence about them? Well, Shabbat is like that. Shabbat has a presence about it. And it is actually said that on Shabbat, we get a little extra presence with a CE, not gifts presence, but CE presence. We get a little extra presence as well because we get an extra soul that joins us on Shabbat. And when we sing the words of Lecha Dodi, pages 138 and 139, and we welcome that presence of Shabbat, we're also welcoming that extra soul into ourselves. What are we going to do with that extra soul this Shabbat? How are we going to lean into it, relax into it, find a little way to enjoy the world just a little bit more, to find beauty in something new or different, something we never looked at perhaps, or looked at in a new way, because it's Shabbat, because we have a little extra space. We have that extra soul to help us. So on this Shabbat, we're going to welcome the Sabbath presence by singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And when we come to the 9th verse, the final verse, we will rise together and turn around to face the entrance to our sanctuary to draw that presence in. And then we'll turn back around and stand together with Shabbat, her presence among us.
Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Mekol ha'veracha Merosh mikedem nitzucha Sof ma'aseh v'ma'shavat chila Yayam nara lecha dodi Hika lekrat kala Nefei Shabbat nekavela Lecha lecha dodi Lecha lekrat kala Nefei Shabbat Kala, Nefei Shabbat nekavela, Lecha dodi, Lecha lekrat kala, Nefei Shabbat nekavela. Oh, hit'oreri, Iba oref u'mi'ori, Uri shetaveri, Kavod Adonai alai, la lecha dodi. Shalom, ateret ala, am simcha ofsola, doch emunei am segula, moi chala, moi chala. Lekrat kala, b'nei Shabbat. nekavela. Lecha lecha dori, lekra kala. Pene pene Shabbat nekavela ya lecha dori, lekra kala. Pene pene Shabbat nekavela. Oh, lecha dori, lekra kala. Pene pene Shabbat nekavela. Shabbat dori, lekra kala. Pene pene Shabbat nekavela.
Plant your feet firmly in the ground. Stand up straight. Take in that deep breath, that extra soul, and let it out. We remain standing. We have welcomed the presence of Shabbat, and now we draw ourselves into community, page 146, with our call to worship.
Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated. On the next page, 148, we read together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, bechokma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, sader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtsono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Umavir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai tzivahot shemo, El chai v'kayam. Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Haravim. On the top of page 151. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We invite Cooper to the bima on the occasion of his becoming bar mitzvah this Shabbat. He will lead us, page 152 in Shema and following in Ve'ahavta.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed Ve'afta et Adonai בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לפניך, ודיברתם בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשובך ובחומך, ושרתם לאות על ידיך, וחיו לטוטפון בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים אלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
On page 158 are the words of Micha Mocha, which we call our Song of Freedom. And this week it has been a little challenging to think about freedom as we saw some challenges to the Voting Rights Act. And we think about our freedom and the freedom that we each have to have the right to vote, and the way that we have worked so hard to ensure that right for all people in our country. And I think as we sing this song of freedom, it is incumbent on us to remember the gift that freedom is. And then as we segue from Micha Mocha into Hashkivenu, just one page later, we're reminded that freedom can be scary, and it can need a little bit of protection and shelter. And that's part of our work in the world, to ensure that freedom for all, not just for ourselves, but for everyone who needs it, for all the places that it feels like it's not quite as steady as it should be, that freedom feels shaky. And so we say these words of Micha Mocha, we sing these words of Micha Mocha, thanking God for that freedom, and then we immediately turn the page and we say, hey God, it's a little scary. We need your protection too. We put those two together as we continue. 158 and then 160.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא 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 תהילות, תהילות גם אוסף בלב. Thank you. La 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 ya la la ya. Like before. Ya la, here we go. La la. Ya la. Ya la. Ya la. Ya la la. Ya la. La 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 ya. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom Vehamidenu Shomreinu leChaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom Vehamidenu Shomrein. You got this. Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom Vehamidenu Shomreinu leChaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom Vehamidenu Shomreinu leChaim Ushmot tzedkenu u'to'enu Ushmot tzedkenu u'to'enu u'to'enu leChaim u'leShalom leChaim u'leShalom me'ata ve'ad olam Hashkivenu. You got it. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom Vehamidenu Shomreinu leChaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom Vehamidenu Shomreinu. One more time. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom Vehamidenu Shomreinu leChaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom Vehamidenu Shomreinu leChaim.
We continue with the central part of our prayer service with tefillah. We invite Noah and Isabel to come forward on the occasion of their becoming B'nai Mitzvah together next week, cousins, to lead us in tefillah. And tefillah begins on 164 and continues on 166, 168, and 170. Please rise.
We're ready. You ready?
Adonai sefatatita ufia kitehilatecha. Adonai sefatatita ufia kitehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, וקונה חקוב, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניכם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם וצרת שרם. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחייך כל עטרה ליושיע, מוריך טל, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחייך כל ברחמים רמים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומחיה אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לה, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומשביע ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחייך כל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום והללוה סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Please be seated.
On the top of page 173, we read together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 175, Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ba'amcha Yisrael, utfilatam ba'ahavat tekabel, utehi l'ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Ever present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha v'yirah na'avod. In this moment in our service, we take an opportunity to think of those who are in need of healing. All those in our community, in our congregation, in our families, in our lives, who are striving for a return to wholeness and balance. If you are thinking of someone on this Shabbat, I invite you to offer their name out loud as my hand makes its way around the room so that we can share in Purse for Healing together. We think of those people we've named out loud and those that we've held so closely to our hearts that we couldn't even say their names aloud. We think of those going into surgery and those coming out of surgery, those helping others who are ill and themselves in need of protection. We think of soldiers serving our country and serving the land of Israel. We pray for their health and their well-being and their safety. All of those wrapped up together in our prayers for healing. Page 371, we join together.
May
Baruch atah Adonai Rofeh HaCholim. We praise you, our God, who brings comfort to those in need of healing. And let us say, Amen. From the second night of Passover until the day before Shavuot, we count the days. It is a custom that is commanded in the Torah, but has come to hold many traditions and behaviors that we observe during this 50-day period. We turn to page 570, where we find Sfirat HaOmer, the counting of the Omer. Now, you've probably heard lots of different things about the Omer over the last several days. Okay, they're not supposed to give you the number, but there have been 29 previous to this one. And but I think my favorite part is that what's most interesting to me about the Omer is that it isn't a countdown, but instead is a count up. We talk a lot about counting down to something, about preparing ourselves, but when we prepare to move from our story of slavery at Passover to that ultimate freedom of Shavuot, where we celebrate the giving of the Torah, we count up. We are so excited to get there that we add to our joy. Just like on Hanukkah, we add to our joy by adding a candle each night instead of taking one away, depending on which Talmudic scholar you follow, but we do the up thing. So too, at the Omer, we add a day. And so each day we increase our excitement as the number grows. We're over halfway there. Tonight, we're going to count 30 days of the Omer. And as we count each and every day, we are reminded that each day is a new opportunity, a new chance, a new beginning, to overcome fear, to seek change, to learn, to grow. And may that challenge be in itself for all of us as a blessing. So here on page 570, I'm going to invite you to repeat after me. Hineni, Muchan, Umezuman, Lekayem, Mitzvat, Aseh, Shel, Sfirat, HaOmer. And then we're going to read together. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. So we're going to join in the blessing, and then I'm going to say for all of us what day today is. So let's go. Here we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer hayom shloshim yom shehem arba'a shavuot u'shnei yamim la'omer. Today is the 30th day, making 4 weeks and 2 days of the Omer.
Shalom Rab. No, you do Shalom Rab.
Oh, my turn.
But who's counting?
Okay, we've counted the Omer, which of course brings us closer to the idea of peace for our world. And so we turn to page 178. Shalom Rav, a multitude of peace.
You're so good at this. So good.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon bechol hashalom. Shalom
In an unsettled world, we seek for a few moments to turn away from the noise and confusion of our lives. We seek to enter a stillness that resides in the depths of each of us, a stillness that is at the center of all that exists. For a few moments, let us seek quiet, not the quiet that is the absence of noise, for there is always noise. Rather, it is like the stillness of a friend listening, the noontime silence of sunlight on a lake, the silence of a new idea, a thought that makes the world pause, the quiet of growing plants, the quiet of a child sleeping, the silence that brings rest, the silence that brings renewal, the silence from which hope and love emerge. We take a few moments for our own personal prayers.
לפניך, אדוני, צורי וגואלי, צורי וגואלי.
Sharing firsthand testimony is so incredibly important. These are the moments that remind us how much genuine human connection truly matters. Kibbutz Nir Oz in the Gaza envelope is strikingly beautiful. And even though it bordered Gaza, it was always described as being 99% beautiful and 1% horrible. On the morning of October 7th, 200 terrorists rampaged through the community, killing or kidnapping more than a quarter of the entire kibbutz. Over 100 of 400 residents. were either kidnapped or killed. It was one of the most devastated kibbutzim along the Gaza envelope. It was home to the Bibas family and so many other hostages, so many other victims of October 7th. I had the privilege of visiting there, and there's an image that I can't stop thinking of. It's through glass shattered doors that you could still see the bullet holes. There was a mailbox. That was the place where everyone came to get their mail. And on the mailbox, Nero's put different colors. Yellow was for hostages. Red was for those killed. And the image of that mailbox with over 100 out of the 400 names somehow delineated left a mark that I'll never forget. Barak Morag is a resident of Kibbutz Nir Oz and a survivor of October 7th. Since 2015, the kibbutz has been his home, where he and his wife raised their children, Gaia and Itamar. Following the loss of family members and friends and his entire home, Barak found that sharing his personal testimony, a story of survival and resilience, and the power of human solidarity, became a powerful tool for his own healing and growth. And when a friend of his reached out and said, Barak was able to come to Chicago, would we host him? The answer, Jonathan, was definitely yes. What a gift to be able to hear directly from Barak. What a important moment in the life of this congregation. And as I showed you with great pride our candlesticks, and as I showed you with great pride the garden outside, we will continue to tell Nir Oz's story. We will continue to honor that amazing, amazing place that's 99% beautiful. Barak, it's an honor to invite you to our Bima today. And it's an honor for us to hear your story.
Thanks. Well, do I have the screen?
What's that?
Can I have the screen?
Sally, turn on the screen.
I have some slides, so just. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Jonathan, and thank you, Rabbi, for this incredible intro. I'm very excited. I've been speaking in many places in the last 2 years, but it's one of the most beautiful and welcoming places I've seen, so I'm a little more excited than the usual, and I'll try to do it as smooth as possible. And I hope we will see the slides because I don't see it yet. And I will say before I begin that first, I'm not here only for the testimony because I've learned a lot in the past 2 years, and I'm also here, and I will show some examples and tell about, to say thank you for the incredible help that we've been receiving as a community, as a family, as people, from many, many people from all over the world, and of course, before everyone else, it's always the Jewish community of the United States. So thank you very much for everything you do, and will always do, and it's very appreciated. And I really hope we can see the slides.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's my family that the Rabbi mentioned, and the beautiful kibbutz that we had in October 2023, and it's changed, and it will be beautiful again, obviously. And on October 7th, it has changed because of many bad things that happened. And the main thing that happened in Kibbutz Nir Oz, which is very different than other places, is that we were left alone.
Can I give you a...
I'm told I'm sorry, yeah. Didn't do it on purpose. Yeah. Now you can hear me better? Let's just. Now you can hear me better? I can also hold it. Okay. So I was saying that I'm here also to say thank you if you didn't hear that, and it's very important for me. And the beautiful kibbutz we've had, as the rabbi told, on October 2023, has changed because of those things that happened. And the main thing that happened different than other places that have, of course, suffered just as bad is that Kibbutz Nir Oz was left alone and no one came for our help. The first soldier to arrive to our kibbutz arrived at noon, at around 1:30, as the event started 6:30 in the morning. And as was mentioned, a quarter of the population was either killed or kidnapped. And they burnt more than 100 houses, and 80% of the houses are uninhabitable after the events. And this freedom that the terrorists had in the kibbutz allowed them to destroy many public buildings, not only houses, such as kindergartens that you can see in the pictures, the dining room that the rabbi mentioned, and you can see the bullet holes in the door, you can see the burnt kitchen. And one thing that I always like to give a minute is the kindergarten that you see in the middle and the beautiful blue bench that is saying, in Hebrew, it says that it's much better to be together. And it's not only about being together, it's a place, this bench is a bench for the kids. If someone feels alone, he can sit on it, and the rest of the kids know that the kid sit there is looking for company. And this bench survived the fire and moved with us to where we are located at now. And it's a beautiful thing to see. And my story, my personal story that I will try to quickly share with you is one example out of many, many stories in this community, in other communities. And it's a window through you can see what happened to thousands of families. And please remember that I'm not the only one. I am here speaking, but there are many people in my situation, many people who suffer just as much. And on October 7th, we were locked in our safe room, waiting for our destiny since 6:29 in the morning when the alarms went for the first time. And we knew very early that there are terrorists in the kibbutz, but we tried to deny it, but the reality kept getting closer to us. As the noises that we heard got closer, we heard trucks, we heard motorcycles, we heard people running, we heard people yelling, we heard gunfire, and we heard the very loud Arabic music played outside our windows. We felt as if we've been taken over. And many of those noises we heard was probably, we couldn't know in real time, but they were probably the events took place near the house of the Bibas family that you do all you can do for their memories, and I'm very thankful for that because they live just behind us. And the family, the people who were at their door were just outside my window, and it could easily have been me. But we were very lucky, and we were able to lock ourselves inside the shelter. And why we could lock ourselves, I don't know. My wife bought this bolt lock something like 8 years ago from today, just to be on the safe side. We never used it until October 7th. It was designed, created, and installed by a friend of us who lives in the kibbutz. And 9 families bought this lock, 9 families were saved. And also other families in other kibbutzim nearby were safe. And it turned the door to something that is not matching the criteria that it should match, because you couldn't break it from the outside, but this is what saved us. It saved us at 10 in the morning in the first time, when the terrorists first got to our door and tried to break in. They pulled the door, but it didn't open. We were hiding in the beds. My wife was with my daughter. She was 7 back then, and they hid it under the blanket under the blankets in her bed. Excuse me that I'm very excited. And I was with my son in his bed, covering him with my body because I knew that they are shooting in the doors, and the doors are not bulletproof, and I wanted them to hit me and not him. And the moment they tried to break in was the first time we thought that the story is over. And we just kept it quiet and heard them trying to break the door, moving it left, right, up and down, trying to tear it from its place, banging on it very aggressively. And they were calling us in English, not Arabic, from behind the door. They were saying, open the door. If you open the door, we will not kill you. If you come out, we will not kill you. If you will not open the door, we will blow up the house, and threatening us to come out. The situation lasted for 30 minutes. During these 30 minutes, we heard them destroying the house. Things were breaking, things were falling to the ground, doors were opening and closing, and I guess they were looking for money, for jewelry, for anything they could take. Every few seconds, someone banging on the door and calling us to come out. During these 30 minutes, we kept it completely quiet. We didn't say a single word, except one thing that took place somewhere in the middle, when very quietly we said goodbye to each other and apologized to the kids that we couldn't protect them. And at 10:30, they just went and left us alone. We thought that we were safe, and I wanted to go out and bring a knife for self-protection. My wife didn't allow me to do that. Listen to your wives, guys. And I was lucky to listen to her, because 2 minutes later, they were back in the house, again trying to break the doors, this time only for 2 minutes, and then we heard them spilling liquids behind the door. I guess it was gasoline, and immediately we could hear the flames, and the smoke started getting into the room. And we are stuck in this sealed room with the smoke coming in and have nothing to do. I was a very innocent and tried to help my family as I could, and I called the fire department because that's what I thought I should do. Of course, the fire department tried and tried, but they couldn't help us until eventually, an hour into the fire, they told us, "We are sorry, we can't make it, you'll have to find a way." And again, we understand we are alone and we have to do something. We set aside, had a little conversation, and understood that we only have two options. The one is to stay as we are and wait for probably a certain death that will take as long as it takes. The second option is to gamble, to open the window a little bit, let some oxygen in. Maybe they will come and see us, maybe they will not. And we opened a very small crack in the window, as you can see in the picture on your right-hand side, just to allow some oxygen in without allowing them to stick a rifle or throw a grenade. And on the second picture, you can see my black fingerprints. I was covered in ashes and smoke because I was leaning against the window, listening outside. And every time I heard something suspicious, I slammed that window. During this entire time, my kids kept falling asleep on the floor because everyone was on the floor, and we were sure that they are dying, and we had to wake them up. And they were very mad at us for waking them up. Yes, that's kids. And every time they woke up, they were throwing up a very thick black vomit. That's the body's way to get rid of the smoke, but we didn't know it then, and we understood that the only option we have is to gamble. And I kept doing it for a very long time until something like 1:45. At 1:45, we heard soldiers or people walking outside the window, and I panicked and slammed that window. Once I slammed it, it made a very big noise, and I heard people from the other side yelling in Hebrew. And they were yelling that someone is shooting at them. They thought the noise of the window was bullets, was gunfire. And immediately someone yelled, "It's not bullets, it's a window." And I recognized the person speaking. I know that voice. It was someone from the kibbutz. But of course, I have no guts to open the window, so I'm only yelling outside. And they're yelling back at me to open the window with my hands out. And I opened it slowly. I see the soldiers in front of me. They see me. They run to us with the rifles, trying to look inside to see if someone is holding us hostage. And they saw the four of us there alive, and they said the worst thing they could say, "Close the window and wait." That is at 2 p.m., more than 3 hours into the fire. And we had no choice but to wait. But after they left, we felt safer to open a little bigger crack in the window to get some more oxygen inside, and I think that is what saved us. We waited for another hour until 3 p.m. when another group of soldiers arrived, this time to take us out. We opened the window, we climbed out. We've been out there for maybe a minute, but this minute felt like forever for two reasons. The first is that my daughter couldn't stand on her legs. She was dehydrated and exhausted, and they had to give her sugared water so she can stand up. And while we were taking care of her, my son disappeared. He disappeared for 15 seconds, but you can imagine how it felt. And we found him just 10 meters behind our house, playing with his friend Ariel Biba's toys. They grew up together, they are the same age, they've been together since they were babies, so we just did what a 4-year-old boy would do and went to play with his friend's toys. And we grabbed the kids and we ran away to the public shelter, but before we ran away, we looked back and took one last picture of the house. And you can see the flames from the roofs, you can see the window we came out of, the middle big window, and that's the last time we looked at the house. And we got to the shelter where the kids been taken care of, and you can see how I was, a dead man, not even walking, still covered in ashes, and we spent the night in that shelter together with all the survivors, which was the first time I understood how many people are missing. This is the house we found the day after when I went to look for some things that I might be able to rescue. Obviously, I couldn't. And we stayed alive, but lost everything we've had. I do want another minute of your time before I'm moving to the thank you part to tell about some words about my wife's family. My wife Ziv is from Kibbutz Nir Oz. Her family was there since 1969. I only joined in 2015 before our first daughter came to this world. Her parents raised 5 children in this kibbutz. And on October 7th, while we were trying to survive in our home, we knew that in my in-laws' house there are 2 people. One is my father-in-law, David, and the other is my brother-in-law, Tal, who came to visit. My mother-in-law, Bracha, was abroad, luckily for us. And we couldn't connect them the entire day. We tried calling, SMSing, mailing, WhatsApping, anything we could do to try to get to them, but nothing was replied. The rest of her siblings tried as well. They live other places, and they couldn't make any connection with them. And the only information we got about this home while we met people who passed by the houses being rescued is that the house is on fire and there is no one in the house. The day after, in the evening of October 8th, the IDF told us that both David and Tal were taken hostages to Gaza, and they are listed as missing hostages. Missing hostages are people who haven't been documented or seen being taken. They are not in any image or any video that was published, but both of their phones were signaling from the Gaza Strip. And that was the conclusion. And we've been part of the hostage families trying to bring our people back home, not only our friends, but also our family, for only 1 month. As 1 month later, the IDF informed us that both David and Tal were actually murdered on October 7th, and their bodies were burnt with the house. And the looters who stole money and burned the house also took their phones. That's why they were signaling from the Gaza Strip. And this is a crazy thing to say, but looking in the perspectives of November 2023, we were almost lucky to have a funeral, to have a closure, to know what happened. Some families were waiting for more than 2 years to have a funeral. And that was, again, one family out of way too many families. And immediately after arriving to Eilat, started a new chapter. It's not immediately started as a chapter, but the good things started happening very quickly. And usually to describe this part, I'm using a song that I really love in Hebrew, and I translated 1 sentence of it to English. And it says, in English it says, "You can never extinguish the darkness, but you can always turn on the light." And it was many people who were there for us with a lot of things, small and big, from the first day until today. It started when we arrived to Eilat and found in each hotel rooms full of stuff that you can use, given by the people of Eilat. Anything you can imagine that a person will need after losing everything. If it's clothes and toys and phone chargers and shoes and baby diapers and baby formulas and anything you can imagine. Store owners who brought washing machines that we can use, and really anything. Boxes coming day after day from all over the world. If it's food, if it's toys, if it's gift cards, anything you can use to start with your life again. And it kept on going. And there were incredible projects that we participated that were starting since the beginning and lasting until today. And a lot of them were funded and created by people from all over the world. And I have here 2 examples that I wanted to show you. The first one is called Hug for Hope. It's a project that my family participated, where families from the North Americas are hosting families who lost their homes for a small vacation or a short vacation or a big vacation with themselves here in Chicago, New York. I've been to Toronto, and we found a new family in Toronto, which became our family. We've been there twice, we will be there again. They visited us, and their first grandson, who just came to this world a few months ago, is named Oz after Kibbutz Nir Oz. And 15 families, more or less from Nir Oz, took part in this project of great communities and people here in the States and in Canada. And just I took one quote of Danielle Kaplan, the woman who hosted us, that shows you how good these things are doing. And it just says that the first time my son slept through the night after October 7th was during the first vacation in Toronto. That's how much it made him feel good and safe. And it's an incredible thing to give to those kids. The second thing is the therapeutical surfing. That was an incredible thing for everyone in the kibbutz, basically, except the veterans, the older people are participating in it. But for the men my ages, like the 30s and the 40s, it was an amazing thing, because we are the men apparently that are expected to be there to take care, to protect, and we've been helpless and couldn't protect during the day. And dealing with the ocean, going out on the surfboards against the waves is a way to deal, to fight, to control, and to be able. And this entire project is funded by American Jewish federations. And I just want to say that those things that people like you are doing to support are really helping. And it's amazing the sense we receive, the abilities we receive. And now, after 2.5 years of trying to move forward, trying to learn, trying to get stronger, trying to get back on our feet, we are looking at the future. And the future is also rehabilitation, is rebuilding, is finding new ways and new paths, and it's mostly about being together as a community, which is the most helpful thing. We said goodbye to our burnt house in order to let place for the new buildings and the new development of the kibbutz that is ongoing at the moment. And the kibbutz is being built, and you can already see the new houses that are standing. People started moving back. Some people will return in the next month. Newcomers are joining the community. And also, of course, some families decided not to return. And I think sometimes it's not the expected thing, but it's a very obvious thing, and it's very makes a lot of sense. My family as well, I must say, out of the families who decided not to move back at the moment. And we are 50 families who decided to stay together as a community. And it's not about where, it's about the people. And we understood that being together with people that are part of our story is giving first a very big strength and abilities to the kids who have kids that have been through what they've been through. And for us, the adults, it gives us company who understands why we are sometimes down and sometimes up, and sometimes we just don't know what. And the ability to stay together is also a gift given to us by great people from the United States who allowed us to be able to find a home in a new kibbutz that is supposed to accept all the 50 families together in the near future. And we will start building new homes in this kibbutz very soon, while the previous kibbutz, Niroz, is being built and being helped on a daily basis as well. And the future is, always people ask me, what about the future? And I can only know what happened. I can't say what will be, especially in Israel. But any of these projects, all of these little and big helps that we are receiving daily basis, helps me look at the future in a brighter way, helping me to find a way to keep going every day, to be there for my kids, for my wife, for my friends, and for my family, because I have people that are there for me. And it's amazing, and I'm very grateful and very thankful. And I really tried to do this thing as quick as possible, not to take much of your time, and I will be here with you also afterwards. And I'm very thankful for this opportunity, and for you, Rabbi, and for everyone here, for everything you're doing. And I tried my best to do it quick.
You were great.
Thank you so much, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom, and I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's so important for us to hear your story. It's so important for us to know that we have family there and you have family here, and we will always, always be your family. Barak, thank you. You've taken it upon yourself to tell this story. And I have to say that I was incredibly touched to hear that your grandmother was a Holocaust survivor. And she told her story to the Spielberg Foundation, to so many other places. And in many ways, you are standing on her shoulders, and you are telling your story, and you will continue to tell your story. Thank you. I'm reading an amazing book right now by Mati Friedman about 32 parachuters who went back, who left Budapest and then jumped back into the Holocaust. They were in Israel, they were safe, but they chose to go back. One of them was Hannah Senesh. And what Mati is doing in his book is he's breaking the myth that the mission failed tremendously. But in 1945, they needed a hero. They needed something to look up to. And they chose Hannah Senesh to be that hero. And in many ways, we continue to choose Ariel and Kfir Bibas to be our heroes, and Hirsch Goldberg Poland, and so many other people who weren't heroes at all, but by the fact of where they were and what they did. I can consider you a hero as well. Barak, thank you. I consider you a hero that we look up to. Hannah Senesh was a literary genius. She had no business parachuting back into the Holocaust. Her dad was a writer, she was a writer. And she left a small suitcase of her poetry with her brother, who discovered it after she died. And one of the poems that he discovered are the words that are on the back wall of our sanctuary. She wrote her most famous poem, Eli, Eli. But she also wrote, there are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest nights, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways that we remember. So we remember. We remember our loved ones. We remember the names on the back wall of the sanctuary. And we remember everyone from October 7th.
יש כוכבים שאורם מגיע ארצה רק כאשר עם עצמם עבדו עיניו. יש אנשים שזיו זכרם מאיר כאשר הם עצמם אינם עוד בתוכנו. אורות אלה המפיקים בהשקעת הליל הם שמראים לאדם את הדרך, את הדרך. הם שמראים לאדם את הדרך, את הדרך. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember, we remember, we remember. As we live our days, as we live our days, these are the ways we remember, we remember.
Please rise when you hear your loved one's name. We observe Shloshim for Milton Niemold, Harvey Rudler, Barbara Blinderman, Ronald Garfinkel, Burton Gilberg, Donald Robbins, Lori Lusbader Ashworth, Diane Gilbert, Irv Sitkoff, Eleanor Metnick, Christina Kowaznik, Shirley Neems, Burton Batchko. As well, we remember those whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of their death, occurs at this time and at this season. Please rise again when you hear your loved one's name. Ruth Abrams, Steve Amder, Rochelle Barlow, Bernice Bindler, Harris Block, Edward Blumenthal, Herbert Borowski, Rose Posey Brill, Sophie Kaplan, Norman Chudakoff, Bernard Citron, Diane Cole, Melba Conti, Ruth DeMar, Jack DeWitt, Rita Diamond, Stuart Duell, Edith DDF, Shale Fox, Harry Friedman, Sylvia Friedman, Joel Friedson, William Gurman, B. Goldenberg, Abe Goldman, Don Hayner, Barbara Hoflick, Herbert Jacobson, Erwin Jaffe, Shmuel Kulisetsky, Janice Kaplan, Robert D. Cates, Mark Kurland, Harriet LeBeau, Art Layson, Leo Levy, Betty Jane Miller, Beatrice Morris, Ann Nathan, Albert Page, Rabbi Aaron Penkin, Jules M. Perlberg, Harris Prince, Lillian Sape, Bonnie Sand, Philip Sugarman, Hyman Schaffner, Catherine Schrader, Rose Ceylon, Morris Shapiro, Herzl Silber, Harold Singer, Herman C. Smith, Irving Summerman, Sherwin Stone, Mary Schwartzberg, Ray Weimer, Estelle Wexler, Morris Winter, May Rose Wolf, Hyman Yohannan, Margaret Zisserl. If you have the name of anyone else that you're thinking of at this time, I ask that you please rise and call out that name. Joining with those who mourn, we rise together as one congregation, page 598. And we say together the Kaddish prayer. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah. Be'almad divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei kol beit Yisrael. B'agala b'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mavarach le'olam omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar, v'yit taleh, v'yit halal, shmei dekudsha brichu, la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu be'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom, shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Cooper, Isabel, and Noah, I invite you to come forward as we offer the blessing over the wine. Jody, take it away. I got to just turn around and say the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim, I think they might have heard you at Nero's. Good job. We have a tree certificate for a tree planted in Israel, maybe right by Nero's or wherever in Israel a tree is needed, and a tzedakah box in honor of this amazing day tomorrow and next week. We are so proud of you. Congratulations. You guys are awesome. Let's offer the blessing over the challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'te'avon. Barak will be in the lobby. Make your way out there and visit with people. And thanks for being with us. Adam, thanks for being with us. Our amazing music team. Thank you.
Ya, 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 ya. אדון עולם, השם מלך, בטרם כל יציר נברא, לנסה
When was the baby born?
אזי מלך שמו נקרא, ויחד ויקבלות הכל, לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה והוא הולך, והוא יהיה בטבע. Shabbat Shalom.